What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so Gennady Golovkin has just had a press conference to announce his new trainer. I was trying to rack my brains when I was watching the press conference, and I can't ever remember a press conference to announce a new trainer. I admit, look, my knowledge of boxing doesn't go back 30, 40, 50, 60 years, but I can't ever remember someone calling a press conference to announce a new trainer. I don't know if it's because of the way him and Abel Sanchez split. I don't know if this is the case of just giving him some more airtime before he fights that epic fight against Steve Rolls. I don't know, but I've never seen a press conference to announce a new trainer. That new trainer is Jonathan Banks. Jonathan Banks is the new trainer. I don't think anyone kind of saw that coming. Banks is a good trainer. Banks is a good trainer, former fighter, former cruiserweight and heavyweight. I think he was the IBO, yes, IBO. Some people don't give that belt no credit, but it depends who's fighting for the belt as far as I'm concerned. But I do think he was the IBO cruiserweight champion of the world. I might be fact checked here and I might be wrong, but I do think he had a belt, maybe even a belt less than the IBO, but I do think it was the IBO. He retired though after a loss to Seth Mitchell, the former NFL player, I think, who everyone thought was going to be the next Mike Tyson because he wore black shorts and black boots. He beat Seth Mitchell, and then they had a rematch and he lost a unanimous decision, and then I think he called it quits. And then he became an understudy to Emanuel Steward, right? He is a product of that famous Kronk gym that has produced so many killers. Surely there isn't a better or bigger known gym in the world. I need to get myself one of those Kronk t-shirts. I keep saying that and I haven't got one, but he is a product of that, and he became, as I said, understudy to Emanuel Steward when Emanuel Steward was coaching a number of people, but more notably towards the end of Manny Steward's coaching career, Vladimir Klitschko. When Manny Steward passed away, he then positioned himself to be the full-time coach to Vladimir Klitschko. And to be fair, it was a perfect transition. I mean, you've got to be very, very good to replace someone as good as Emanuel Steward, right? You're talking about one of the best trainers of all time. And I think Jonathan Banks done a good job. Vladimir Klitschko always speaks highly of the job that Jonathan Banks done. He did work, I think, for a couple of fights with Dillian Whyte. I remember him in the corner when Dillian Whyte fought Anthony Joshua. But I have to be honest with you, I don't know what he's been doing recently. As soon as Vladimir Klitschko retired and Dillian Whyte switched trainers, I don't know if Jonathan Banks has been sort of training mid-tier people, right? I'm not sure, but I don't think he's trained any of the elite level fighters since. So this is an interesting move for Gennady Golovkin. But at this stage of Gennady Golovkin's career, right, he doesn't necessarily need one of the marquee, if you like, trainers or coaches. He doesn't need someone that's going to tell him how to slip a punch or throw a jab. I mean, the experience he has, both as an amateur and a pro, I mean, is second to none. So I feel like he just needs someone that he can bounce off with. And I think Jonathan Banks, by all accounts, just going on what people say about Jonathan Banks, seemed like a very cool guy. I mean, these guys, I think, are probably the same age as well. I'm sure Banks is like, I'm going to guess and say Banks is like 36, 37 max. Same age as Golovkin, right? So they might be able to see eye to eye on a few things and just try out maybe a few different things. Hence why someone like Steve Rolls is a perfect opponent, maybe to try and change a few things that Gennady Golovkin might need to change to still be able to beat the very elite at middleweight. And when I say elite, I mean he has to change something in order to beat Canelo. He does. I'm a GGG fan, but that style obviously doesn't work. It's always going to be a close fight. So maybe Jonathan Banks might be able to tweak a few things if the trilogy happens. Maybe even a rematch with Danny Jacobs. Maybe even the fight against Demetrius Andrade, which will be difficult because Andrade is southpaw. So an interesting press conference, to say the least. And an interesting name. I think it's a good one in Jonathan Banks. Again, if you are an understudy to Emanuel Steward and you've soaked in some of that knowledge, even if it's 20% of that knowledge, you should be a very, very good trainer because Emanuel Steward is one of the best ever. So, yeah, I think good appointment from Gennady Golovkin. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace.